good old days, hanging out with my hero, Sonic. Chasing bad guys and blowing them away. But now he's gone, and there's nothing left to do. But shop till I drop. There was always something fun to do with Sonic around. I really miss him. Hey, what's going on here? Is there an eclipse today or what? Nobody forecast a storm or anything. Eggman, can it be? What's that? Ah! Watch it! Watch it! Ow! You should watch where you're going, buddy! Hey, are you all right? You look kind of hurt. What's this? Uh-oh! Yikes! You almost ran me over, creep! Oh no! Let's get out of here! That was one of Eggman's robots, huh? He must have captured you, and somehow you got away, right? Don't worry, I'll protect you. I'll do my best to keep us both from harm. I'll stand by you all the way.
Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Sonic Adventure. We're starting off things here with Amy's story, and as you can see, we have already gained a new ally. It's this little cute birdie character. So yeah, we're kind of starting things off a little bit more intensely than some of the previous stories. I know Knuckles had a lot of story that was very, very important, but this time around, we have a little bit more of an intense beginning. As you can see, Amy has now gained not only an ally in this bird, but she now has a stalker robot, as I like to call it. So he's going to be kind of chasing us around this entire time. We can once again freely explore Station Square, this time as Amy. We can talk to the newspaper worker. Extra, extra! Huge flying object is heading for Station Square. No damage to the city yet, but residents are panicking. An investigation's underway, and rumor has it that Dr. Robotnik is responsible. How terrible! Alright, so some news that we've already heard before. We can actually look up at this current moment, and if you see out there in the distance, Cream is actually flying above Station Square again. So we have arrived, starting off here in the same timeline where essentially Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are essentially finishing the Casinopolis mission. Hey Amy, I saw Sonic. I think he went into the hotel. Maybe you should go in there and get a room with him. Wink, wink. Just kidding. We have Station Square workers here. Looks like the railroad workers are actually on strike, or the train workers. I think I called them guards in the previous episode. I don't know why I got so intense with their titles. They're just train workers, man. They're just sitting there making sure people get on the train nice and easy. They're not military guards, or however I depicted them as previously. Of course, we have Mr. Know-It-All Kid kind of giving us some tips on how to control Amy. We can actually head over to Twinkle Park. There's really nothing for us there. But yeah, as we heard, Sonic is actually located in the hotel, so I guess we have to deal with something with him. So we're going to go out and trigger a familiar cutscene here. Sonic, I saw him heading toward the casino. Alright, so we're going to head out to the casino area and see if we can ruin Sonic's day.
Oh, Sonic! My hero, Sonic! Birdie's got in trouble. I think you should be his bodyguard a little while.
What?
Doesn't matter. We'll just tag along.
No way!
Come on, don't run away! Oh!
Alright, so we are harassing Sonic at a pretty decent pace. So yeah, so Amy doing what Amy does best. Looks like Casinopolis is closed for repair. So yeah, this does take place right after Sonic and Tails finish off at the casino. And of course, like I said, the train workers are on strike, so we can't do anything with the train yet. We cannot travel to Mystic Ruins. We are secluded to just Station Square. Cool little thing I didn't point out, there's a little diner there on the street there right across from the casino and across from this very creepy, sketchy alley. What? You want to go on a date? You're going to have to wait your turn. All right, this guy is a little bit too confident, I think. Hey, don't bother me. I'm really happy now. All right. Wanted to say hello. We're new in the neighborhood. We just wanted to, or new in town. We just wanted to socialize a little bit, maybe make some new friends, but I guess that's not going to happen because that lady's not having it. Looks like Sonic's waiting right here in front of Twinkle Park.
Wait up, Sonic! Not fair! I can't run as fast as you! Ah, look! Eggman's robot's on the loose!
Don't panic! I'll handle that bag of bolts!
Ah!
Now what's wrong? Huh?
Look! It says cute couples can get in free! What are we waiting for?
Amy! Wait! I give up. She's so weird.
So we start off Amy's story with Twinkle Park. If you thought repeating stages in this game was a thing of the past, think again, because we are going to continue to do so throughout the rest of the game, pretty much. I have to say, Sonic was kind of rude to Amy right there before entering the first stage. I know she comes off kind of creepy, kind of stalkerish, like she's got this, this huge crush on Sonic, but really her intentions are pure. She's really not intending on causing him any harm from what we've ever seen from her. She's just really excited when she sees him, and she gets really happy because it's somebody that she really likes and cares about. I mean, I think we've all had an experience like that at least once or twice, maybe when we were younger, maybe we were in school and we had like that first crush, and we just got all warm and fuzzy inside when we saw that person, and we just got really excited. It's happened to the best of us, so we can't really put too much blame on Amy, even though she comes off about it, maybe a little bit the wrong way, but it's fine. As you can see, we are continuing to be chased by this gigantic robot, which is named Zero. So believe it or not, Dr. Robotnik, as his name implies, he has created a mass amount of robots, and even that guy has such little confidence in this particular robot chasing us right now that he has given him the name of Zero. Even Eggman does not think too much of this freaking thing. So we can already tell right off the bat it's not going to be that big of a threat. So your main objectives in Amy's stages are, obviously, you have to get from point A to point B without getting attacked by the giant robot Zero. Zero is going to appear in every single one of Amy's stages, every single one of her 3 stages. Yeah, she only has 3 stages in the game. And of course, I would fall through a trap floor, or a trap part of the floor there. Yeah, so the mirror, I'll get back to Amy's main objectives here in a second. The mirrors in this stage are going to kind of point you in the right path, and they're going to essentially give you a hint on what part of the floor is fake and what part of the floor, is not. So by looking in the mirror, you can see I kind of did a horrible job. I was kind of just not really paying attention, but in the mirror in this room coming up here, right there, you can see that the floor is not, or there's a missing part of the floor right there on the other side of the mirror in our reflection right there as well. So that's going to, indicate that those are going to be trap parts of the floor where they are essentially going to, sink in or fall, the platform's going to disappear or whatever. But Amy's objectives are pretty simple. You're just running away from the robot. You have to actually get to the end of the stage and she's not freeing animals. She's actually taking a balloon out of the level. And you'll kind of see what I mean once we get to the end of this first stage. She only has 3 stages, so very, very short in terms of length for her story, but her story is pretty cutscene heavy. So she has still a lot of important elements and a lot of a pretty big role that she actually does play, I think, in the main story overall. Getting to interact more with Tikal and kind of seeing her story play out more. That's also going to happen, but Amy's role is maybe not as big as some other characters, but she does have some meaningful story. And we do see a lot of character growth. So just because she's not, you know, the ultimate person, or, you know, she's not like the one hero of the story that solves world domination and takes care of Eggman once and for all, she doesn't mean she doesn't have a lot of important stuff going on in this part of the game. So here's our balloon. And we ride on out. Yeah, that's the end of the stage. So every time you see a big yellow balloon right there where you can grab on, you can grab onto its handle. I've never really seen a balloon like that with a handle like that. You're done. That's this, you know, essentially marking the end of the stage. So her stages are really not too bad, honestly. We're gonna actually exit Twinkle Park, and remember Twinkle Circuit that I've been kind of talking about when we first arrived here as Sonic? Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take that on right now. So we're taking on Twinkle Circuit, which is yet again another sub-game of Sonic Adventure. And as you can see, we are thrown back into one of those bumper cars, except this one kind of hovers a little bit. I think maybe they did in Sonic's stage as well, I don't remember. But yeah, we are taking on a 3-lap bumper car course in Twinkle Circuit. Now, you're probably wondering why the hell I'm doing this, and it's mainly because it's fun as hell, and you actually do get rewarded for completing this within a certain amount of time. You will actually receive 2, not 1, but 2 additional Sonic emblems for completing Twinkle Circuit. The first time is, I think you just have to complete it once without really any requirement. I'm probably wrong on that. And then you get a Sonic emblem for that. And then the second one is for beating your highest score. As you can see, the best time on this is 4 minutes, and I went crazy and went off the track. The best score for this game is 4 minutes. But yeah, hitting that 4-minute time is really not that hard at all. Obviously, you want to keep it well under 4 minutes to get the best time. You want to get the shortest amount of time possible after completing 3 laps that you were given. But yeah, it's really pretty simple. You want to really pay attention to how you're steering the bumper car, because as you can see, we have a lot of sharp turns on the track. You do have to go through this 3 separate times, so once you get through the first lap, you'll kind of get an idea of how the track's laid out. And obviously the walls are something you want to avoid as much as possible. Every time you bump into a wall, that will slow you down. You obviously want to go as fast as you possibly can, so hitting a wall is going to stop you from doing that. As you can see, the best time does increase, so every time you hit a lap, your best time is going to actually change, because the best time is only indicated for that specific lap. So the best time you see in the top left corner is going to be the time that you have to be at by the end of that lap, which again, they gave you a crazy amount of time. Now we're at 7 minutes, so they expect us to get they expected us to be so bad at the game that we would take 4 minutes to complete lap 1, and now they're thinking that it's going to take us an additional 3 minutes to complete lap 2, even though we've gotten lap 1 done in under 2 minutes. So went ahead and completed lap 2, and we are just over 2 minutes. So now they're giving us a time of 10 minutes. I think we can do it. What do you say? I think 3 minutes per lap is a little too hectic and a little too underkill. I don't know who is completing this in over 3 minutes per lap, but I got news for you. It's not that difficult. So we're gonna get to the end of this thing here one more time, and we're gonna show Sonic that we are something. We are a force to be reckoned with. If we can complete a damn bumper car mini game, we can do anything as Amy in this world, I do believe. So that's gonna do it. That's the last lap. We got through it. It looks like 7 minutes to spare from our best time that we had to beat there. So again, not too difficult. The first lap actually took the longest. We actually got the shortest amount of time done in that final lap there. So kind of nice. We have over 2,000 rings already. So look at that. Adds another emblem to the total, giving us another one down. Giving us another one to add to the collection. So that was nice and fun. So yeah, so like I said, you can complete that for 2 additional emblems. I'm gonna get the other one later.
Whew! I'm glad we finally lost that robot. I'm lost too. Now, calm down. What do you want?
Hand me the bird.
Nope.
Quietly hand over the bird.
No, never.
Why not?
I don't need to tell you anything. You tell me why you want it, now!
Does not compute.
You don't even know? I know you might hurt us both. Please, Mr. Robot. Won't you help us, please?
Insufficient data. You have feelings for something you know nothing about. Illogical.
I pity you. Love is not part of your programming. You are missing something good. Hey, Birdie, come back here!
Go. Escape.
Well, what? You sure?
It's dangerous here. Hurry, we'll be at the Mystic Ruins base soon.
You're really nice. You're different from the other robots. You've got a soft spot inside your metal frame. If you want, we can be friends, okay?
Alright, so kind of interesting. We have actually seen probably the first robot in the game that appears to have the ability to make its own decisions, even though it's programmed to do the opposite of what it just did. So kind of interesting. That's actually E102 Gamma. We'll be seeing a little bit more about him coming up very soon. This is another Chow egg you can actually take back to the Chow Garden, which I have not shown off yet. Just wanted to kind of point that out. I will be highlighting those more in a future episode.
It is dangerous here. It is dangerous here. It is dangerous here.
So yeah, it just goes to show that not every robot is mean, apparently, so.
You're not going to escape from here. Let's see if you can clear this awesome game.
So this is Hedgehog Hammer. This is another mini game. Jump up on the stage and hit the blue Sonics and the yellow Sonics. The blue Sonics are worth 100 points. The yellow Sonics are worth 500 points. If you hit a Robotnik, you will get negative 200 points. So you'll get 200 points subtracted from your score. Keep trying to get the high score. For this score, you need to hit at least 2,000 points or more for a special reward. Again, like they said, you want to aim for just the blue and yellow Sonics. Do not aim for Robotnik. We're doing actually pretty damn good already. We already have 1,800. See if we can go for a higher score. We've hit the minimum we need to hit. I can get pretty high in this. I've done it before. 2,800 yellow Sonics. They're worth the most. Holy sh**. Are you kidding me? 4,900 points. I don't think I've ever hit that much before.
What? I can't believe this is happening!
Congratulations! You get the Warrior Feather.
Behold the Warrior Feather! Now you can do the spin hammer attack. Press and hold the action button and move the directional pad in a circle.
So with the Warrior Feather, we now have the ability to do this spin hammer attack. If you hold down the B button or the action button and move around your control stick like a crazy madman, you can perform the spin hammer. Kind of useless, honestly. I've never ever had to use this. They're telling us to go through Hot Shelter and find a way out. It's actually through that door right next to the one we just came out of. But yeah, like I said, I really never use the spin hammer that often, to be honest with you. It's kind of nice, I guess, if you're surrounded by a bunch of enemies in a stage. But the fact that Amy only has 3 stages and you're just kind of mainly just trying to avoid that giant Zero robot for the most part, I've never really found that many uses out of her new abilities. So behind this door is going to be Hot Shelter. It's actually going to be stage 2 of the story. Actually, there's a door right here we cannot access. There's no switch by that. But right here on the ground will be a switch you can hit with Amy's hammer. That will open the doors. Kind of cool. So we're going to go inside and kick things off. So this is Hot Shelter. This is the first time we have ever done this stage in the game. This is not going to be the last, but it is kind of interesting nonetheless. As you can see, we are again in the stage within Eggman's egg carrier. We're not dealing with Skydeck, not dealing with a bunch of wind directional shit this time. We are just essentially just kind of navigating throughout the ship a little bit. So with this stage, as you can see, we have these levers that we have to rotate with Amy in order to access certain parts of the stage, so opening up various doors throughout our path here. And we have these also we have these new robots here. These guys are kind of annoying. They will trap you in this little laser beam. You just want to kind of struggle to get out there and just kind of mash on every button that you can. Take them down with the hammer attack, and they shouldn't be too big of a deal. And as you can see, our stalker robot has followed us to the Hot Shelter. So, but what I was going to say is this stage is, I have to say, out of Amy's stages, I don't really know if I have a favorite or least favorite, simply because there's just so few stages that she actually has in the game, where I don't really, you know, ever leave the game or revisit it ever remembering most of her actual stages, because she has a lot of heavy, Amy's story is very cutscene heavy. And I know she does play a vital role in the game, but her stages are just not that memorable. There's a couple that are repeated from other characters, and unfortunately this one is the first time, this is the first time we actually are visiting Hot Shelter, so it's kind of disappointing that you don't really remember much from it, or at least I don't, every time I revisit the game and, you know, finish it. So we have an emergency drainage switch here. We need to hit that button right there in the dead center of this platform, and that's going to bust open the glass, allowing the water. It's actually a pretty cool cinematic here, but it'll allow the water to fill up the room, giving us a raised platform that we can now jump on to get across to this gate. We have to use this lever. Oh wow, really glitchy in that little corner. This stage is probably my least favorite of Amy's story, I'll have to say, if I have a least favorite. And the reason for that is not just because this annoying robot is following us all over the place, but because there are, in my opinion, very pointless puzzles coming up in this stage. Now, the lever cranking or the lever rotating, it really isn't that big a deal. I actually kind of like that idea. It's very small, very simple, but it gives us a little bit of a, you know, just something that we have to do in order to access different parts of the stage instead of just allowing us to freely roam. I do like more of like the puzzle, you know, solving mechanics in the Sonic games, where you have to kind of you know, basically use your brain a little bit more, or just do a few extra steps in order to access, or in order to advance throughout the stage. And as you can see, yeah, we are in a bathroom. So if you thought the shower part in the Casinopolis and Sonic story was kind of weird, well, look at this. We have a full-on stalls here. We have full-on stalls here with sinks and everything. I guess there were sinks in the other bathroom, but you get it. It's just kind of a little bit quirky. I guess the obsession with bathrooms continues on in Sonic Adventure. But back to what I was saying is, I just think that this stage in particular has kind of pointless or kind of weak, honestly, puzzles for the most part, in my personal opinion. I don't want to hate on it too much. I do love, again, enjoy playing through Amy's story, but I just feel like her stages kind of are probably the weakest in the entire game. And I know that's kind of a long shot maybe saying that, but in my opinion, that's just kind of how I feel. But we're going to move right along here. As you can see, we've kind of entered like a, I guess more of like a mechanical room where we have all of these gears and these spinning levers, or whatever you want to call these, to utilize in order to gain more height up on these other platforms. We hit the switch, we can actually change the direction that they are spinning. And this room always gave me Banjo-Kazooie vibes, if you remember the Rusty Bucket Bay stage where you're in the, like the engine of the Rusty Bucket, and you have to platform on all of those gears, and they were spinning like crazy fast unless you hit like a switch in there. Yeah, that just gives me vibes from that stage. It has a lot of similarities just in the overall look and feel of it, and the fact that you actually have to jump on the gears as they're rotating. It's almost identical to actually how that part of Rusty Bucket Bay and Banjo-Kazooie is laid out. But anyways, a bunch of doors that are very slowly opening up. That way we can get through to the next room. Now, this spot right here always throws me off, so I hope I don't fall off this time around, but for some reason, I don't know what it is about this spot right here. I think it's the camera change, or like the angle that your camera is setting, but I always end up falling off of that part right there where you have to get over to that switch on that lone platform, or that part of that platform. It's always, I don't know why, that in the past it has always thrown me off, but luckily I was able to get through it with no problem, so yay for me. We have our good old stalker robot following us again. We have Zero. And we have some more levers that we need to crank. So Amy's going to do a little cranking. Dane, get the platform risen, so that way we can get up here. And let's see here, what do we got? Where do I need to go? I think we just need to jump all the way. Did I screw that up? I think I did. I don't think I was supposed to jump down here, but we're going to go ahead and move this lever. Pull the lever, Crunk, or pull the lever, Amy. Raise these platforms, get us up here. Aha, here is where we actually needed to go. So maybe I was supposed to go over there. I don't know why I didn't figure that out in the first place. But here's a rocket that we're going to use to miss all of those capsules with rings in them. But we can get down here and hit a checkpoint. And we have more of those spider enemies I don't really care for. And, of course, the annoying bomb-throwing freaking monkeys. These guys are just, I don't know, they're always like... they want to make you think that they're innocent little robotic monkeys, but really they're just fools. And here it is. So here is the part of the stage I just really don't like. So as you can see, we have a little bit of a puzzle here, if that's what you want to call this. Yeah, basically all we have to do here is we have to find these little cubes that match the colors of these squares on the floor in this room, and for some reason that causes the cubes to merge inside of the squares, unlocking the next section of the stage. I don't know. I don't get it. This part right here is what I was talking about, where this puzzle is completely and utterly unnecessary, in my opinion. I think it's stupid. And I don't know. I like the idea of having puzzle mechanics in a stage to progress throughout the level, but this just doesn't make any sense. We're putting cubes that just simply match the color of these squares on the floor. Somehow that's like a key to open up like the door. There's 4 of them. You just have to, like, there really isn't any difficulty to it. You're just finding the different colored cube and you're placing it in the slot that it goes into. I don't know. I never understood it. It's probably one of the parts of this game that make me scratch my head. I have a lot of love for this game, I have to say. I know I've talked a lot of crap about it throughout my time playing through this, but you kind of have to be able to do that, like to really love and appreciate a game, especially a game that came out like way back in the late 90s. You have to point out its flaws as well, because in my opinion, you're not being, I guess, honest, I think, in your critique, because no game is perfect. Like, every game out there has its flaws, and I think it's important to point those out just as much as the good sides of it as well, and the positives. But here we have the same puzzle like we did before. This one has a little bit of a different trick to it because I think they do hide one of the cubes up on one of those ledges up there. So we have to use this right here, this spring, in order to get up there. I think the characters, pretty much after Tails or maybe even Knuckles, their movement speed is much slower than, especially like Sonic. You think about how fast Sonic moves, even just like in the overworld, like in Station Square and some of those locations. He moves super damn fast and you can get around pretty damn quick. But with these characters, starting with, I feel like Amy here, moving forward, their movement speed just gets much slower. But here, right here on this top pillar you have, or on this platform, you have this other cube that was hidden. Basically just making you work for that key there, just that last little piece of that puzzle you need to just open up that door. But yeah, again, sorry, just nothing special with those puzzles. I don't really care for them. I wish they would have maybe, I don't know, done anything else with them. They could have still kept the cubes and the colors and all that stuff, but just changed it up a little bit. I don't know. But that's it. That's the end of the stage. We have finished 2 out of 3 of Amy's stages already. So we're actually not that far from the end. Her story is fairly short, so...
Huh? What's this place?
As you can see, we are brought back to yet again another familiar location. Now, I've kind of been stretching the truth a little bit, or just kind of, I guess, dancing around the fact of exactly what this location is, and another location we've been to. Never glowed in victory. I mean, of course, the echidnas are here. Yeah, this is the official city where the echidnas do live, so... I've never been scared of anything my whole life. Is there anyone or anything capable of making me feel scared? I don't know, maybe your mother? Or maybe my mother, I don't know. I think we can get them both here and have them face off, and we'll see who's the winner there. Never glowed in victory. Life is always changing and is never permanent, but our prosperity will never end. Very true. We're too hyper. You got that right. If there's one thing these guys say that's very factual, it's probably that one right there. Out of all the inspirational quotes that they have, man, these guys are just very inspiring, I have to say. They really are saying things that really kind of stick with you, aren't they? I mean, you can really take any of these echidnas and what they say and really apply that into your real life. What do you got to say? You're kind of all alone over here. There's an altar in front of the gate. The 7 emeralds are there. With those 7 emeralds, all our dreams will come true. Very inspiring. If you've kind of been paying attention, this location is a location in the overworld in Sonic Adventure. This is where the current jungle is, except without all the trees. We are actually in the jungle location, but 3,000 years in the past. Going in this door will take us to another location where we've already been many times. Yeah, we've been here before, but you know where this is? This is Angel Island. Yeah, I've been kind of glossing over that fact, and maybe I've even lied about it and said that this was like a different world or a different universe. No, this is actually the exact same world that takes place in the main hub world in Station Square and Mystic Mountain and Mystic Ruins. This is Angel Island 3,000 years ago. It's completely intact. There's no damage. It's connected to like all the other mountain areas. Yeah. That's where the Master Emerald rests. That's the same Master Emerald location that we have been to right across from the entrance of Red Mountain. Yeah.
You're the Chow. Don't be afraid. You're safe with me.
Gee, what was that? I wonder if I'm dreaming. need to get out of this place!
So Amy's even getting a little bit of a glimpse from 3,000 years in the past.
Where do you think you're going, Amy?
Eggman, no!
You can't get away this easily.
Sonic, help!
Too late, buddy!
Birdie!
It's a Chaos Emerald!
What?
I don't need you when I've got this! Gamma!
At your service, sir.
Dispose of these annoying pests! Give them all you got!
Aye, aye, sir. Will comply.
I've got better things to do!
Stop, Mr. Robot! Please stop!
Amy? That's one of Eggman's clunkers! Out of my way!
No! He helped me before by letting me escape. This robot is different. You don't need to hurt him, okay?
Amy! Okay, I guess I'll let him go then.
The egg carrier's losing altitude!
We're fresh out of time! Take Amy and clear out, fast!
What about you?
I'll nail that Eggman! Can't let him escape!
I knew you would save me, Sonic. You're my hero. You okay? It's dangerous here. Don't pay attention to Eggman anymore. Free yourself. Come on.
Why are you helping me?
I said we'd be friends, and I'm returning your favor. Even this birdie wants you to be free. Eggman's not the kind of man you should work for.
Amy, come on, let's get going!
Until we meet again, Mr. Robot, take care of yourself. Robotnik is doing. He's always rescuing me, it seems. I should be more independent. You know you sure surprised me by having a Chaos Emerald with you. No wonder they were after you, my feathered friend. Hey, a pendant! Wow! So I'll help you find your family. Does Eggman have them captive now? I bet he does. So I'll help you you find your family? I've come this far. I may as well go all the way. That robot said Dr. Eggman's base is in the Mystic Ruins. So what do you say we check it out?
Wow, yeah, a lot more to unpack from all of those cutscenes. I know this game at times, especially the cutscenes, feel pretty whimsical and maybe a little cringe at times, but man, do they really hit you in the heartstrings and in the brain with this story. We have a lot more to unpack from just watching all those cutscenes that we just watched. Hey, no fair, dude, the second party left without me while I was searching the mountains. I seriously wanted to go with them. Calm down there, Roger. You're gonna have your time in the sun eventually. What do you got? We're the exploration party searching for the ruins. The second party already went into the jungle after the first group, but they didn't pick me to be a member. So I'm staying put. I'm a loser and they hated me, so they casted me aside. But yeah, so we learned a lot from just viewing the past, I don't know, like 3, 4, 5 minutes of cutscenes. Right now we need to head back to the egg carrier because there is actually something we can get from there. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. As you can see, yeah, the egg carrier is crashed. I can't remember if we've been here before when it's crashed, but this is essentially your ticket to get back to where it's located. It is now in the ocean. It's just kind of sitting here floating in the abyss. You do get to travel back to it from both Station Square and Mystic Ruins if we so choose to. There are a couple of reasons why you probably should do this. So, but yeah, other than just kind of exploring it and just being able to freely explore it is a good reason in itself. But there is something else for us here that we can collect. If we go back down inside of the ship, which I'm going to do right now, we will find yet again another reward that we can get. So let's do that. Dare I say that this is one of the games where Amy gets the most character development. We're seeing her grow as a leader. She's taking on, yeah, he's basically telling us we can just hammer these switches in order to open these doors. But we're seeing her taking on a leadership role, and she is now acting as almost a maternal figure for these birdies. You know, we have the main birdie here that's with us, but we have a couple other friends of the birdie as well that we need to rescue as well, and Amy's setting out on that mission to do that. If we come back here to the Hedgehog Hammer minigame, we can play it again, and we can, yeah, get another reward for doing so. It's the same game like last time, except for the fact that you actually have to achieve a score of 3,000 or higher, unlike the 2,000 score that we just had. Knowing that I got 4,900 last time, I feel like that's not going to be an issue. So we're going to see how well we do and see what happens. Looks like I accidentally hit a Robotnik thing there, so we want to try not to do that. And of course, I would just undershoot by 100 points. It says congratulations. But yes, that's the high score, but that's not the score we need. We need 3,000 or more. I don't know why they just said congratulations. I didn't get the score minimum I needed to get, so I don't know what they're talking about. We're going to reset the game and try again this time. Nope, not you. Not you. You. There we go. That's all I needed. Oh. Okay, we'll overshoot it a little bit. Not as high as my high record, but we will go with it. 3,500 is what is needed, so, well, 3,000 at least, so. Congratulations, you get the long hammer.
Here's the long hammer. Your attack radius is now increased. Try the spin hammer attack.
Yeah, our hammer has been upgraded. We now have more range in our hammer attacks. Not only that, but this thing is freaking huge, and I don't know about you, but if we have robots the size of Zero chasing us around from stage to stage, I think this isn't a bad idea to have a gigantic hammer with us at all times, especially with all the other robotic enemies we've been facing on the stages as well. I think it makes sense to have a hammer of this size. I do want to point out this is a optional upgrade, so this is actually probably the first optional upgrade in the game, apart from maybe Knuckles' fighting gloves. You do not need this ability at all whatsoever. It's mainly for show because the hammer kind of looks cool. It's a green color now. It's a lot larger than the first hammer we had. And it's just kind of cool to be able to attack enemies from further away. Not required at all, but just wanted to kind of point out that, yeah, that's how you get it. And why not get it? If it's there and it's available and unlockable, you might as well grab it, right? Doesn't take a lot of effort. You just have to go back to Eggman's ship and go back into that room where the game was, so not too hard. But now we're going to travel back via train. We actually don't need to come to Station Square. I took the wrong boat. We need to head back to Mystic Ruins because we have something of interest over there. And going back to what I was saying about Amy stepping up as a leader, this is the game I feel like where she does that the most. And it's really kind of overshadowed by some of the other popular Sonic games out there. And because Amy's not really a main focus of the series in many ways, it is almost kind of forgettable that she has such a large role in a game like this. And I have to give credit where credit is due. I think the writers of the game did a great job of the story and implementing all of the main characters of the Sonic universe in a way where you really feel something for these characters and you're rooting for them. Like the fact that Amy started off as just like this creepy girl following Sonic around wherever he goes, and now she's like this, you know, huge maternal figure to these birds, and she's taking on this huge mission of, you know, putting herself in danger and going to Eggman's ship and trying to save the rest of the bird's family. She had a lot of good story in this game, I have to say. But if we go back out to the jungle, we can see out there in the distance, Eggman has created his base. So we've seen this before. Kind of cool to get a nice good look at it. It almost looks like a giant football stadium out there with all the lights, the way it's set up, and it's like a dome type of shape. Kind of like an outside dome or something. But as you can see, we have this gigantic bridge just out of nowhere.
I don't remember this bridge. Looks dangerously suspicious. Wanna go?
I like that. It's dangerous. We could probably die. You want to try it? Let's do it, birdie. Little tiny birdie that can probably not defend yourself. Let's go all the way out there to the big flashing lights that looks like Doomsday mixed with the NFL Super Bowl. Let's do it. Let's head over there and have some fun. All right, anyways, enough of me being silly. We are going to enter the suspicious bridge. And as you can see, we are back in a familiar location. This is the main core of Eggman's base, I guess you would call it. We've been here before. Metal Sonic is there, as well as Mecha Sonic. We have this puzzle that we've seen before as well. We just want to make sure all of these lights are lit up at the same time. Again, I explained this better in the first time, during the first time that we were here with Sonic. So if you want to go back to that episode to get a little bit of a better idea of how to work this puzzle, then feel free to do that because it's pretty damn easy. Honestly, if you just keep stepping on random switches here, they will eventually all light up and the hell will be over. Your problems will be solved. But once you get them all lit up, that's going to open this familiar door. We go in here. We have entered Final Egg. We've seen this before.
Not you again!
And we have our good stalkerish robotic friend to join us on our final stage of the story. Yeah, this is Amy's final stage, Final Egg. I know it's hard to believe that with the actual word final being in the stage, but yeah, this was actually Sonic's final stage as well. So we're kind of parallel. It's kind of a parallel with Sonic's story in a way, except he does all the dirty work. If you've noticed, we have not had a single boss fight in this story. Amy is a woman and she's too good for fighting. I don't know. I don't know how I really feel about that. I think that might be another reason why Amy's story is a little bit more forgettable, or maybe not one of people's favorites in the game. It just doesn't really feel like you're doing a lot. Like there's only 3 stages. You know, you get a couple of upgrades like your hammer and things like that that we just showed off. But she doesn't, apart from being, you know, still an important part of the overall story with the call and having the flashbacks. You're not really seeing a lot of action with Amy's story. Like she's mainly just kind of running away. She does take on a leadership role and she does have a lot of character development. Those things are true. But really the meat and potatoes are really happening of the story. Mainly the meat and potatoes of the story are really happening within, like, you know, Sonic's segment, Knuckles' segment, you know. Some of the other characters that are I guess, more of the fighting characters, which I think Amy could put up quite a fight. Like, she's not she's Sonic's size. Like, she probably weighs about the same amount as Sonic does. Like, he moves pretty damn fast, so he's not like that heavy. But she doesn't move as fast as Sonic does, but she's got a gigantic hammer, dude. Like, if I saw a creature like her coming at me with a hammer the size that she has now, I would run far the hell away from her. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, apart from that, she doesn't get a lot of the action, which is kind of disappointing because you think she'd at least have, I don't know, like one important fight throughout the main part of the story. But that's about it. She does have, I will say she does have one fight at the very end. I'm not going to spoil too much about it yet because you can kind of see where the story's going and kind of who it's going to be at this point. Very ironic, especially right at this second. But apart from that, that's the only time she actually gets any action, and that sounded very wrong, but it's kind of true. So you're just kind of maneuvering around here, and this is another stage that was actually available in the demo version of Sonic Adventure DX on the GameCube preview disc, and that's why this stage, as Amy, sits a little bit more.
One of these doors is the right one.
Sits in my brain a little bit more specifically, where I just kind of remember, again, just playing that demo like crazy. I was playing that demo like an insane amount of hours that a kid should never be playing a demo of any game for. And Knuckles' Red Mountain stage for Knuckles was one of them. Emerald Coast for Sonic, of course. And this was the stage I played for Amy because it was the only stage you could play as Amy in the demo. So I just have these stages like just like second nature sitting in my brain where I just kind of remember every part of it. But this room right here is kind of interesting. You just basically want to keep going until you find the right door that allows you to progress. The other doors will be dead ends. Kind of an interesting little mechanic there. I wish they would have done more of that in some of the other character stages, but we get it here in Amy's story, so it's not too bad. But that's the end of it. That's it for Final Egg. Yeah, that final stage felt like it was shorter than all the other ones, believe it or not. If you actually go behind the end here, you will find these capsules with a bunch of rings, so if you want to go for a high score, don't miss those, because they're actually hiding behind the end of the stage. So, gonna jump on our powerful balloon that's gonna take us out of here, and that is it. That is the final stage for Amy Rose.
That was a close one! I saw no sign of your relatives, Birdie! Oh! You escaped from the egg carrier! So maybe your family's still in there! Let's investigate, wanna?
Alright, so we are now back in Eggman's base. We are now needing to go all the way back to the Egg Carrier, the crashed Egg Carrier. Because we still have some birdies to find. Some of our nice blue birdies' friends and family. We gotta go ahead and find them. Amy is still set out on her mission to rescue as many birds as she possibly can, because she is mother. So we now need to exit Eggman's base. We are now in the jungle, back in the jungle. And as you can see, yeah, we actually cannot go back in there. That's interesting. I don't know if I've ever even tried to go back in there. But you cannot return to the base once you have left. So keep that in mind. Yeah, just need to go back. Yeah, we can't even like go back inside, even if you walk a little bit away from it. That's interesting. Okay, I never knew that. I don't think I even tried to do that before. Alright, so I will meet you back in Mystic Ruins, where we will take a boat ride to the crashed Egg Carrier. We're here to search for the ruins, but I saw a plane crash into the ocean. Man, I want to go check it out too. Too bad, because that's actually our job. If we head over here where we normally would board the train, let's see here. We have a beautiful ball of red light telling us to go to the Egg Carrier crash site. We'll head into this little boathouse here, and we'll take a little cheap, budget-friendly boat ride back to the crashed Egg Carrier. no robot can stand up to the bad tree, which is Amy, because she is a bad bitch with the long hammer. So this is the final boss fight, and the only boss fight within Amy's story. We are facing off against the annoying freaking green robot that has been chasing us around this entire time. Zero. So this is it. This is the only chance you get to actually use Amy in any fight whatsoever in the game. Again, a little bit disappointing. Knowing that she's got this big bad hammer, it's kind of underwhelming that we only get to really use it in an actual fight once. It's kind of interesting. A little disappointing, makes me a little sad, but it is definitely worth being a final fight because he's not the easiest thing to take out. He will do this attack pattern where he will do this giant quake attack. He's going to scan you and do this little laser scan, but your main focus is just to get him into the electrical wall there. So if you use your hammer and get him to crash into the electrical circuits, he will eventually go bye-bye. He's also going to go into this other phase where he does his spinning wire attack, as I like to call it. You just want to, of course, jump over them, avoid as much damage as possible, keep at least one ring intact, and you shouldn't have many issues. And yeah, he can be a little bit of a pain in the butt. He is pretty persistent in his attack patterns, and he can attack you pretty consecutively, giving you very little time to actually attack him into the electrical circuit. But that was all it took. He is now done. And it looks like we know where he got his name after all, because he's definitely a zero. And Amy is the hero.
Please wake up, Birdie. Are you okay? Can you fly? Whoa! You did it! Now you three can live in peace again! Try my best, too! Just watch me! I'll make that Sonic respect me! And by that time, it's gonna be too late!
So that is it for Amy's story. Honestly, a little disappointing that unfortunately she does revert back to her obsession over Sonic there at the end. But come on, girl, you don't need him. You have proven in this story alone that you are independent enough to do your own thing, and you don't need a hedgehog around to help you. No, Amy's story is honestly a pretty interesting story. Not my favorite of the series, of the game, I will, admit that, but she has probably some of the most character growth out of pretty much any character other than maybe Tails, and I have to say they did a hell of a good job with Amy in this game. Surrounded by a bunch of dumb male main protagonists, Amy really kind of outshines a lot of the major male characters in this game. She not only does she have a bad freaking hammer that she equips with her and has around with her in like everywhere she goes in the game, but she has proven that she's not just a Sonic follower. She is a leader, and she's a maternal figure. She helped out and was able to find Birdie's family and get them all reunited and together again. She risked her life by going to Eggman's carrier in the first place, which Sonic did as well, but Amy decided to take on the task herself, which shows that she has grown as a character, and she is very independent and is a main hero in this story. You can say that Sonic is the main protagonist, but Amy definitely has a lot of heroic traits. And we've seen it on display right here in this game. And I have to say, this is probably the first game, and I would say one of the only, in my personal opinion, where Amy gets the most shine out of many of the characters in the Sonic universe. She does kind of have a pretty nice little... She does return in Sonic Heroes and has a pretty good amount of story in that game as well. I might be going out on a limb saying that, but I think this game is where she really shines the most, and I'm glad that they gave her a lot more appreciation in the series. Would have been nicer if we have gotten more of that in other games, yeah, but we're getting it here, and it's good to kind of point it out and highlight it a little bit. But overall, no, I did thoroughly enjoy Amy's story. I think she had not enough stages and not enough memorable parts in her stages. She didn't have nearly as many boss fights as she should have. I mean, she literally had one. So that's also disappointing as well. However, her upgraded hammer ability and being able to explore the overworld as her are probably the best parts of her story, and obviously the cutscenes that she's a part of. She does play a pretty big role in the story, even if she's only in it for a little bit. So overall, I very much enjoy this story. I just wish they could dive even a little bit more into her character development. But that's going to do it for Amy Rose. Next time, we're going to be doing things a little bit unorthodox and taking on E102 Gamma Story. Chronologically, we would be doing Biggs next, but we're not doing that for a specific reason that I have. I just think that E102 Gamma Story ties in a little bit better with Amy's story, so that's going to be the one that's going to be coming up next. So until then, this is J Guy Plays, powering off.